What's happening? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today I'm checking out the Shieldon Bulbasaur. This is the second of 3 knives that I picked up this month using commissions from the affiliate links that I put down in the description below. So huge thank you to everyone who's used those affiliate links, and even if you don't, thank you for watching and enjoying the content. But definitely using that money to pour back into the channel, buying products to review on the channels, to make more content, and potentially using it to fund future giveaways and things like that. So definitely continue to use those if you're using them, and if not, thank you anyway for supporting the content. But there will definitely be an affiliate link for this down in the description below as well. I picked this up from Amazon, and it was $69.99, so still in that budget range, a little bit more expensive than the last one that I did, which was the Sencut Bront, and I think that was $51.75, so a little bit more expensive, but I think still within that budget range, about $20 more. If you're not familiar, well, I guess if you didn't grow up in the 90s or didn't play Pokemon, you probably wouldn't be familiar. But if you grew up in the 90s or played Pokemon, you probably are. The name of the company, Shieldon, is actually a type of Pokemon. And in general, I might not have associated the two, maybe just thought it was a similar name, except for that the name of the knife, which in this case is the Bulbasaur, is actually also the name of a Pokemon, one of the first Pokemon from the first games. And so growing up in the 90s, it was huge when I was in elementary school and obviously very familiar with it. And so if you're not, Bulbasaur was a grass type Pokemon, which is why this is kind of a green and black knife. And so these are G10 scales. The green and black looks really, really nice. It's kind of reminiscent of the Rough Rider Tadpole, aka the Angry Watermelon, just on a much larger scale. There's also a touch of green on this washer around the pivot. It kind of fades from green to yellow and looks really, really nice. Overall, for a budget knife, I think this looks really, really nice, and it looks and feels pretty premium. There's something about it that doesn't quite feel as premium as some other knives. I think it's just the thickness kind of throwing me off a little bit. It's a pretty thick knife. The handle's about ½ inch thick, but with the pocket clip it gets up over 0.7 inches at the thickest point, and so it is pretty thick and kind of throws me off a little bit, but still feels like a really premium knife for the price that you're paying. Has a nice mirror finish on it. Don't know if I would pick that again. They have a sandblasted finish. I don't have a lot of mirror finish, so thought I'd check it out, but it's super reflective and picks up a lot of fingerprints, which I don't love, but I always have a hank or a cleaning cloth on me, so easy to wipe off, just gets messy pretty quickly. And even in the closed position, there's a lot of the blade exposed, and so you're just gonna rack up fingerprints on there pretty quickly, and it's just gonna get it marred up, and that's fine. But if you want it to look nice and shiny like it comes, you're definitely gonna wanna carry something to clean that off. Now this is on bearings, use the flipper tab for deployment, some subtle jimping on the flipper tab, but it works really well. Really smooth. It is a liner lock, which you have nice access to that liner lock, a good 1/8 of an inch or so there, where there's a nice kind of cutout for it, and that's jimped as well. Fairly drop shutty, and just really, really good action for, again, a budget knife. It is on, I think I already mentioned, ceramic ball bearings, so that's definitely contributing there, and has a nice kind of drop point blade. Kind of looks like a leaf, which kind of fits in again with the theme of that Bulbasaur. Kind of has a leaf-shaped blade. Sandvik 14C28N, so decent steel at that price point again. And it's fairly large, 3.66 inch blade, 4.92 inches on the handle, and 8.58 inches overall, so just over 8.5 inches. And it's got a nice, 4-finger grip for me. There's plenty of room to spare. It is a pretty big knife, a little bit larger than I like for EDC knives. I'm usually in the 7.5 range is ideal, but there are definitely days where I want something bigger, and this kind of fits that bill nicely. It's bigger without being too big. It's not ridiculously big or anything, just a little bit bigger than my average EDC knife. Ergos are pretty good on it. I think they would be perfect without this pocket clip. The pocket clip kind of protrudes a little bit and is really close to the edge of the knife rather than in the center, and so I just feel it when I grip it. It's not necessarily a really bad hot spot or anything, but I'm definitely aware of it anytime I'm gripping the knife, so probably going to remove that. It is not a reversible pocket clip. It's right hand tip up only. Also not super deep carry. It's a little deep carry, but you still have about ½ an inch there. so not reversible, although it definitely could have been. I see no reason why they couldn't have made it reversible. So kind of a bummer that they didn't, but again, I don't think I'm going to keep the pocket clip on there either way, so it doesn't matter so much. It does have a lanyard hole as well, if that's your thing. And again, pretty drop sheddy. It's a little bit on the heavy side at 4.41 ounces, so a little heavy, but not too bad. Definitely heavier than I'd want if I'm wearing like athletic shorts or something like that, but overall not too bad. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this knife. Like I said, it feels like more than a $70 knife. It feels pretty premium. It looks really good and definitely has that kind of nostalgia factor for me with the name. I'm not sure if Shieldon kept up that naming convention because it wasn't labeled Bulbasaur on the Amazon listing, which was probably for copyright reasons. I think Shieldon is kind of ambiguous enough that maybe they weren't talking about Pokemon, but Bulbasaur is clearly a reference to Pokemon, and so I think that's probably why it's not listed on the Amazon listing, but it's clearly stamped here on the blade, right here. And so not sure if they use that naming convention for all of them because it's, again, not on the listing, but definitely interested in checking some of the other ones out. There's some that look like they probably could be following along the same theme, and then there's others that maybe eventually they kind of got away from that naming convention, but I'm not positive. Definitely let me know if there's other Shieldon knives I should check out. I definitely already have a couple in my wish list on Amazon, so I'm gonna check some out anyway, but if there's some that should jump the line or that are just kind of stand out among the line that I should be aware of, definitely let me know in the comments below. But thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. As always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.